Hey, you guys, I wanted to follow up Mike Bunn's article and your activity with practice in action, actually. So I have Kyle Korver's article here, and I just want to go through it and indicate my thought process as far as analyzing his text as a writer, as a reader. And so I'll just narrate. I'm not going to go word for word with my annotations, but I will just explain to you what I was thinking. First of all, he chose to have this published in the Players Tribune, or at least he tried. Not all publishers will allow you to publish in there or accept your submission, but Players Tribune did. And I looked online about the Players Tribune, and it's a pretty credible website that offers a lot of different sports figures writing on their website. And so I thought, okay, well, he went to a lot of trouble to get this published. He went through a lot of revisions. He polished it a ton. He probably had 1 million people look at it. And that means to me, he put a ton of effort into this, which means he really felt and believed in his cause. So that helps me buy a little more into his writing and what he has to say. So he could have chose to publish it somewhere else. He chose not to. He chose to have it published on Players Tribune. So so there's that. We have a hook, and the hook is short and sweet, and it's kind of shocking. So he could have done, a little story. He could have started down here with Thabo getting arrested. He could have started with that. But this one's kind of shocking. And people who are into sports, or anybody really, they have a really quick attention span, I think. And so I'm thinking that he's getting right to the point and he's pulling you in right away. I don't know that people have time to do the story right away. So I think this is drawing people in quite a bit. Okay, so he's also choosing to use first person, which is why I want to share it today. So he's choosing to use first person rather than third person, and saying, "This is what happened over there. This is what happened to them. This is what happened one day. This is what happened to the team." But no, he's putting himself smack dab in the middle of this situation. He's not speaking from afar. He's talking right now, right here. I'm in the midst of it. And he's taking, to me, that shows ownership. He could have done third person, but to me, that was distancing himself from the issue. First person puts him right there. I'm responsible too. So that's something I was thinking about. This one, as you visually look at this text, it's got like 1 sentence paragraphs throughout the entire thing. Like if you look at a physical book or text, you can see how long those paragraphs are. I mean, that is style. Your sentence structure is style, like long, elaborate, sophisticated sentences, or a mixture of a ton, which you're actually supposed to, a ton of different kinds. But and anyway, I'm trying not to go on, but I don't know. I'm not sure what his effect is. He could have chose big chunks of paragraphs. I don't know, but he chose quick ones. And again, our attention span is short, so I'm thinking he is writing from personal experience. He has a hard time sticking with something that's big chunks of paragraphs after another. So maybe he's just like making it quick, so we'll hang in there with him. Okay, so moving on down here. Oh, this one, I love this one. Okay, so he is speaking to his audience as they are an insider. So like he is referring to Russ, and he's saying Russell Westbrook, but down here it's like Russ. He's like, my friend Russ. Well, because he's in the midst of it with this first person, Russ is my friend too. Russ is our friend. Russ is the reader's friend. Russ is up close and intimate with the reader. And so Korver is bringing in his audience as one of them, and as rubbing elbows with the rest of the players. And that makes a person who's reading this feel more part of this, feels more in the action, feels like, oh, I'm involved. I'm considered one of you. So this really is important to me. So that's why I feel like he was a little more informal, sort of like a conversation. And then he refers to Russ by his first name, like we're all supposed to know him. And we refer to our friends with first names, and they are our friends. And so again, I'm trying not to go on. I'm so sorry. Okay, so then he has he uses terminology like heckler. Heckler pops up earlier as well, but he could have said jerk, or he could have said I don't know. But heckler is a little more respectable, I think, in my opinion. And he could have said jerk. He could have said all kinds of things, but he chose heckler, and it's just a little step above. Maybe the Players Tribune wanted him to step it up to make their website look a little more credible. I don't know. But he's stepping it up. And to me, that shows a little respect toward the reader. And so, like, if you swear with somebody or swear with, in an info, I don't know, like at the cashier or something. I don't know, but somebody you're not familiar with, that's a sign of disrespect. And so Kyle isn't necessarily knowing us personally, although he would like us to feel that way, but he's also respecting us too. He's not going off and disrespecting his audience and or the fans either. So he's referring to the fans as hecklers rather than jerks. Let's see what else. Again, I guess the hecklers was further on down. So, all right, next thing is lots of dashes. So he has a ton of dashes, and so the definition of a dash, part of it overall, is that it's an informal comma. I mean, there's 3 rules for using dashes, which is fine, but overall, it's an informal comma. And so again, it's his informality that he's bringing in. It's almost like a conversation. It's reinforcing the idea of a conversation. And keep on. There's a ton more of my comments down here. So, all right. So with writing, we really are drawn into the writing a little more with narrative techniques like figurative language, and some examples include personification, alliteration. Oh gosh, there's so many assonance, consonants, similes, metaphors, just a ton of different things. And so his repetition here we have the fact that, the fact that, fact that, the fact that. To me, that's repetition. To me, that's like chant. To me, that's like a rant. And it's also a form of a narrative technique. It's attractive. It's rhythmic. And if you notice, it's at the bottom of his essay. So like just when we're ready to get to bail, but this is kind of long, I'm ready to bail. He brings in this so that we're going to hang in there and we're going to just stick it out because, okay, well, this is really fun to read. This sounds really cool. It's good to the ear. It rolls off the tongue. It's kind of fun. So, all right, fine, I'll hang in there. He could not chosen to put this in there. It is pretty emphatic. It is kind of shocking. It is pretty emphatic. So he's trying to hit the reader between the eyes. Like, this is a real problem. This is not just a milk down discussion of what's going on in the world today. This is very real and very urgent. And so he's making it impressive upon a person's mind. And then in addition, for people to learn things, you have to do it again and again and again. You have to practice, and that's when it embeds upon your mind. And the same thing with this repetition. It's repeated. He's trying to make it stick in our minds because it's really important to him. And so that's another reason why he used that repetition. And then again, these chants are so prevalent right now, like with marching and protests and just chants are in there, cheers are in there. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Also, he shares some statistics in this 6 times higher. He has statistics. He doesn't go into, so he chose to be pretty general. He chose not to cite. And so this is, he's not trying to get all technical, because then get all mired up in that muck and trying to understand all of that. He's interpreting these statistics for us so that we don't have to go through all of the rigmarole and realize how important and how shocking these statistics are. But he's bringing it down so that it's easily understood. He's doing the work for us. He could have left those statistics in there, make it a lot more technical, but we already believe him already. Plus, it's on Players Tribune. So I don't think they're going to be able to I don't think they would put up with him putting in statistics that weren't founded in hard sources somewhere that could be cited in hard, credible sources. So that's the other thing I was thinking about. And then also, let's see here. What else did I want to say? Okay, down here, we have more repetition. What else did I say? Again, more repetition and just more impressing upon the reader's mind of what he wants us to remember. So again, we're analyzing the choices that Kyle Korver made. We're talking about the choices he could have made. We're talking about the choices he did make. Again, if you notice, all my comments were directed toward the choices that he made were all about the audience, bringing in the audience, making them hang in there, making them want to continue to read, and impressing upon his points to that audience and the ways in which he did. So I just wanted to give you an example of an actual text and me modeling how you were to go about analyzing a real text and trying to identify the choices and the reasons why that author made those choices. Hope you have a great day, you guys.